This is a Headgum podcast.
Because you were getting x-rays, we need to make sure that you weren't pregnant.
I could have solved that problem for you.
Well, what I said
Take
was,
a look at my haircut.
honey, if I'm pregnant, I'm changing my name to Mary and taking to riding donkeys, is what I said. And about 6 months ago, I pulled out all my late 90s sunglasses.
Yeah.
I've been wearing them ever since.
It's back, baby.
Happily.
Lea, I'm so glad that you're here. Thank you for doing this.
Thanks for having me, Caleb.
It's so exciting. I'm such a huge fan.
Who named you Caleb? Who named you Caleb?
Well, you know my mom who was into the Bible.
And of course, because, I mean, that's the only place you're going to find a Caleb, and that in Seven Brides for Seven Brothers.
Uh-huh.
You know.
She says she picked it because it means bold, which we'll take. And she's a nice lady. But I grew up in Missouri. And
Where?
Chillicothe, up north.
Oh, I'm from St. Louis.
We from Belleville.
Well, I'm from Belleville, which is, yeah.
We're outside.
But you say St. Louis because people are like, if you say Illinois, people automatically go to Chicago.
Yeah. They take you to Chicago. But in fact, you're from just outside St. Louis.
Right.
And you spent a lot of time there, right? In St. Louis, is that where you were like hanging out when you were growing up?
I left so fast. No, I left home when I was, let's see, that would have been 22. So yeah, I left home when I was and went to San Francisco.
Yeah.
In 1980. But yeah, as a little gay kid, yeah, I was growing up in St. Louis.
Yeah. And you went to San Francisco when you were 22 to do comedy.
It happened. It wasn't that I went there to do comedy. It just sort of happened.
Yeah.
And mostly because the Valencia Rose was this club that was opened by Ron Lanza, and they started doing this thing. They were gay comedy night. Like they had a little open mic night that was for queers. So Valencia Rose was definitely a kind of a queer community house. It was just so many things happened there. There was art. There was all this stuff. It was queer people hanging out, you know, before we really had community centers.
Yeah.
So they started doing this Monday night gay comedy night, and so I was like, oh, that's interesting, because I was writing plays at the time, and they were comedies, of course, and so I went, oh, I'm gonna go take a look at that, right? And it was like, where are the comics? They were like lesbians with acoustic guitars, and like there was a fucking mime. Why would a mime show up anywhere where people wear T-shirts that say "Silence equals death"?
Yeah.
So it was like, I mean, what the fuck? So I was like, you know, there was one comic. His name was Tom Mamiano. He was the host of the show. Tom was very good, and I just thought, fuck this. And you could see him. He's like, oh, it's a mine. It's all this. So the next week I went and I just tried out some material.
Yeah.
And all my peers say, no, you didn't. I killed the first time I read it.
I think you did. I bet you did.
All my peers, every comic of my generation, from Dave to like all of us that we all know each other, they all tanked the first time they did it.
Yeah.
And Rosie O'Donnell went so far as to actually be stealing Jerry Seinfeld's material first time she was on stage, because she didn't know that was a no-no.
Yeah.
She didn't know you weren't supposed.
A lot of people do that when they start out. They'll just do like their favorite jokes up there.
Imagine? It's like,
Rosie,
all these comics going,
food?
you suck! You fucking asshole! But like, she talks about it openly, so I'm not like letting it out or anything. But yeah, I fucking killed. You're supposed to do like no more than, I want to say 6 minutes or something. And when it was close to the time, they would, instead of bringing out a hook or whatever, they'd say telephone call. And they let me just stay on stage for 15 minutes.
You did 15 minutes the first time you got up there?
15 minutes.
Good God.
It was insane.
That's nuts.
Yeah.
So then after that, did you just start doing stand-up kind of all over the city, or what was the...
What happened then was Tom went, you want to host this with me? So I hosted it with him.
Smart.
And then I said to Tom, we are now starting to get all these comics that are pretty fucking good. And we need to do another night that's not an open mic where nobody's getting paid except us because we were the hosts. that where we can pay these comics. And so we started doing, so we had gay open mic comedy every Monday and gay comedy night every Saturday night at the Valencia Rose. And he and I would switch off hosting. Although we would, you know, tag team Monday.
Yeah.
We would tag team Monday. That we did together. And basically by September, I did, you love this, it was April 20th. So it was 4/20, 1980, the first time I did that 15 minutes. That was so long ago, we didn't even call it 4/20. 4/20 wasn't a thing, right? You know what I mean? It wasn't a fucking thing. But it was 4/20, and by September of that year, I quit my day job and was supporting myself solely as a stand-up comic.
So but from April doing your first set, 15 minutes, which is Psycho,
right,
to September, you're full time doing comedy.
Yeah,
that's nuts.
Yeah,
what the fuck?
I know, it's crazy.
So
I haven't had a day job since September 1980.
How are you paying? What is paying your bills full time with comedy at that time look like? Are you mostly in San Francisco, or you were on the road by then?
I was in San Francisco and on the road.
Okay.
So I mean, the problem with San Francisco was that was it. You know what I mean? There weren't that many places. I performed at a lot of dyke bars and a lot of bars and a lot of cabaret kind of places. The kind of material that I was doing, it wouldn't go. Comedy clubs just didn't work.
Yeah.
It just didn't fucking work.
Yeah.
I tried, but you know, I'd be like, having to deal with people heckling me because I was wearing a tie. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And anybody that's ever seen me do stand up, you are so fucking stupid if you try to heckle me. That is just, you are just asking for death. Or are you fucking kidding me? I mean, I got a mouth, right? And that's the other thing. My comedy, that's how I was able to do 15 minutes. It's all very improvisational when you see me. I mean, I know I'm going to talk about something and then I just start talking. And so that was how I got to 15 minutes. It wasn't like I even had material that I was planning on doing. I just knew I was going to talk about this, and that. That's how it went. So at a comedy club, it'd just be me dealing with the insults. And it's like, I'd like to do a set, you know? So I found that if I went to the queer bars and the cabaret kind of houses, that'd be great. Then I went to, what happened was, I came to New York City and I did a set at Don't Tell Mamas. And a woman who owned a nightclub in Provincetown, Massachusetts, was in the house, and she walked up and she said, "We don't really have any lesbians
in P-Town." No shit.
Well, we didn't. we didn't then. Now there's a ton.
Yeah.
But back then, she was, "We don't have any real. There aren't really a lot of lesbians. There were actually a lot of lesbians who went there. There were just no lesbian performers. But I don't know if it'll work. You want to come try it?" So I came. And the first show I had, there were 2 people in my audience, right? It's like, fuck it, we're gonna work this out. So those 2 people told their friends, and then honestly, after a couple of weeks, I was selling out every show, 100 dykes, and are coming to my show every show, and everybody at that time. So we're talking 1982, right? So that was the place that everybody went for. If you were queer, you went to Provincetown. So that really made me kind of a household name with queers in Canada and America. And that's when I was really touring. I went on a major tour. And then it was 93 that I did the Arsenio Hall show.
You were the first openly gay comic to do late night.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, actually, television period in America. We push the late night because it's more prestigious.
Yeah.
It just is. But the reality is that I was the first openly gay comic on television in America. And then once I did that set me on the road all over the world, every English-speaking country in the world.
Yeah.
And so that happened, you know.
What? Not to ask you how was it back then question, but I am going to.
Oh, please do.
But you know, being gay is such a huge. I don't think about it much. It's just what I talk about up there.
Yeah, you bitches.
I knew it.
Should fucking get down on your hands and knees and kiss our fucking feet for what we've given you fucking assholes.
Here she goes.
Just once, I'd like you to get a little bit of the discrimination that I had to fucking deal with.
You climbed uphill both ways in the snow.
Yeah, motherfucker, but I did.
I know you did.
You fucking don't even start this shit. They have like gay clubs in high school. You know, I had a club in high school for lesbians. It was PE.
You got a arrested. You got arrested for open, notorious homosexuality in my home state, Missouri.
And in Illinois. Both
What
states.
the hell does that mean? So what happened? You were
That
just
was a
lesbian
law-
in public?
In Illinois, I got busted for, I was holding a girl's hand.
You
And
criminal.
walking down the street. In Missouri, I was doing a whole lot more than holding her hand.
What, they walked in on you eating pussy? What's going on?
And we were by a lake. That's all I'm going to say.
Where in Missouri was this?
Columbia.
Oh, come on. You were allowed to be gay over there, no?
Oh, it's Stevens College?
Yeah.
Okay, so here's the skinny.
Not Stevens College.
No,
Come on.
here's the skinny. Here's the skinny. So my best friend went to Stevens College. Right? I did not go to college. So
Well, you went for 5 minutes, right?
I went for 5 minutes and left. It was
Yeah.
boring.
Yeah.
It was too boring for me. So what I would do is I would go visit her basically every weekend.
Yeah.
So I basically was a student at Stevens College.
Yeah.
I mean, if you are what you eat, I was a student at Stevens
Yeah,
College.
I bet you were real popular at
'Cause
Stevens College.
I gobbled those girls down, man. It was so much fun. Which is why I was there every weekend.
Yeah.
Every weekend to visit my best friend, and she never saw me. I just dropped the suitcase.
Yeah. And then went on a
See
pussy
you
tour.
Sunday
Yeah.
night.
Good Lord. So you got arrested in Columbia.
Yeah.
Did they take you to jail?
Yeah, but I was bailed out the next morning. It was
Yeah.
not a crime that I got like a major fine for. I didn't have to go to in front of a judge or anything like that.
Did you at least get a cool mugshot out of it?
I hope so. I assume so.
God, we gotta look up
honest
the
to God
records.
don't remember.
We gotta find it.
We tried to find the record. We tried to find some of these records, and these records are so old that a lot of them, the one that happened in Illinois, it burnt down. Like the courthouse where all these records were burnt down.
Jesus.
So that was gone.
That one's out of there, yeah.
Yeah, that was gone.
Good Lord. Did the other girl get arrested? Or just
Oh yeah,
you?
we were both arrested.
Oh, nice. Okay, that's fair.
We were both arrested. We got. They put us in separate cells though. Like they thought, what am I going to continue eating her pussy in prison? You got to put us in separate cells.
Yeah. That was smart of them.
Yeah, fucking ridiculous.
That is so fun. Well, I have been a huge fan of yours for such a long time, but I knew you before Orange is the New Black, but Orange is the New Black was where I really spent a lot of time watching you.
Yeah, that's when everything exploded. I've had, like I said, I've had 3 feeding frenzies in my life. The first one was Arsenio, and the second one was On the Town. That was when the whole Broadway world opened up for me, and I was the toast of New York for a while, and then Orange is the New Black, I've been moderately famous my entire life. I've always said for me it was a long climb to the middle.
Yeah.
Right? And then Orange is the New Black. Explosion.
Yeah.
So I can't go anywhere without getting my picture taken 1,000 times.
Did you ever imagine when you were growing up in Belleville, were you like, yeah, I'm going to be a big famous comedian
Yes,
someday?
I did.
I knew it. I knew it.
Not a comedian, but I'm doing what I wanted to do my
Yeah.
whole life. Was to perform.
Yeah.
In whatever way that may be. It just so happens that comedy took me there.
Yeah.
So great.
So after Arsenio, you start kind of that's Arsenio's 93.
Yeah.
And you start touring around all over the place.
All over the place. I did like the Edinburgh Festival and won Best of the Fest. And then they have another festival in Wellington, New Zealand. I won the Best of the Fest there. I did a big tour of Australia. I've been to Australia a bunch of times and do the 5 cities. And England. And I actually did live in England for about a decade. I had a place in England and a place in New York and was going back and forth constantly.
You were in London or where?
In London, just outside of London, in a place called Northwood, which is west of Wembley. Most people know it because it's next to Pinner, where Elton John was born. But I like Pinner because there's a pub there called the Queen's Head, and it has different ales every Friday. So I was there usually every Friday trying one of the new ales.
Nice.
Yeah.
Why'd you stop doing that? Why'd you stop the back and forth?
Well, first because my girlfriend and I split up, so she lives in the house that we own together, and God bless her.
Yeah.
Enjoy her life. We're dykes, so we're friends.
Yeah, of course. Yeah. Talking on the phone every day, sitting flowers.
It's culturally a lesbian thing. You keep your exes around. That way you can borrow a backpack in any color to go with any outfit.
Yeah, it's funny how those things, nothing has changed. Every lesbian I know, fucking 20-year-old lesbians, 70-year-old lesbians, some of those things are just like, that's how it is with y'all. Y'all are over there being friends with your exes in a crazy way.
I know. I had this young dyke come up. We were going into the cubby hole, and she started to go in, and then she turned around and she goes, I can't go in there. And I said, why? And she said, my ex is in there. And I went, bitch, let me know when 10 of them are in there. And I walked in. I was like, you got to be kidding me. One ex is in there? Jesus.
Level up, rookie. That's crazy.
It's crazy.
That's light
Come
work.
on, let's go now.
Yeah.
Yeah, I had that conversation with... I've always been the bad girl of dyke comedy. I think everybody knows that. I've always been kind of the badass.
Yeah.
Kate Clinton was always the good girl.
Yeah.
Kate and I are really good friends, by the way.
Yeah.
So I've always said, Kate, why don't you please just be like you are off stage, on stage once. Just do it once. Just be mean once. But Kate had a party, and it was all these like dyke performers that were there, and they started talking about how many times they'd had sex with how many different people, and my head was exploding because they were like, "Oh, I think I've had sex with 6 women." What?
Which day?
I've had sex with more than 6 women in 2 hours. Are you kidding me? I know. And then Kate, because I guess I must have been making quite a face, because Kate looked at me and she said, it's in the thousands, isn't it, Lea? And I went, yeah, Kate, it is. It's like...
And you were dodging the cops while you were doing it. That's
right?
nuts.
Thank you.
Yeah, we got to put some respect on your name. I understand. I'm going to start spreading the word. Lea was really about it. That is so funny. So you were, okay, so when, help me understand the timeline. You're in San Francisco in the 80s.
Yeah.
And then how long do you stay there, and then where do you go?
Well, once I started doing Provincetown, let's see, we were in San Francisco. We went to Provincetown to do the gig there. Then we kind of said we liked New York, so we were in New York for a minute and doing Provincetown. And then my comedy partner was actually my girlfriend. We split up, so she went back to San Francisco, and I basically did Provincetown, Boston.
Gotcha.
Yeah, but only for a couple of years, because 93 was when I went to L.A. after Arsenio. I was in L.A.
Yeah.
Fucking hated it. And I'm just very East Coast. Far too East Coast for L.A. I just, drives me fucking crazy.
What about it?
A lot of white people with dreadlocks.
Yeah.
I
I think they've all moved north now. You might be safe these days.
Yeah, I might be a little safer.
They're in Seattle and Portland now.
It's just a little, also, I remember going into the New York bagel place that's there on Santa Monica Boulevard. What was it? I think it was literally called New York Bagels. Wasn't that the name of it?
I don't know.
It was a bagel joint, and I went in there, and I was kind of in a hurry, and I went, and the guy by the counter was like, it looks like such a nice day today. It looks so nice out. Is it nice out? It looks really nice.
And you go, make that fucking bagel.
And I basically, put that fucking bagel in a bag! God! So.
No time for politeness.
I'm not, that's what I mean. I fit in here so much better.
Yeah.
It's, and I'm kind and nice to people. A lot of people think I'm not, which is interesting if you talk to me for more than a couple of minutes.
Yeah.
I'm actually a pretty decent person and a nice person. I'm not mean unless you deserve it.
Yeah.
And if you deserve it, I'll come at you so fast.
Yeah, I know. I can feel it.
Yeah.
I'm scared of you.
Caleb, you can't be
I'm
afraid
scared of
me.
you. No, I'm not.
You can't be afraid of me.
I'm not.
But
no, I just want you on my team. I want you on my side. If shit goes down and you're in the room, I go, please let her be on my side.
Oh, hell yes.
Yeah, I don't want to be.
I'm already on your side.
I don't want to be against you.
Because you're a bear, right?
Sure. Why not? Sure, why not?
Because, I just always say I'm bear adjacent. If I was a I'd be a bear because, all they want to do is eat, fucking laugh. And that's just my life right there.
Wait, that is what I want to do.
Hold on. You are a bear.
Hold on. Were you hanging out with a lot of gay guys in San Francisco?
Yeah, my best friends are still all gay guys.
Yeah. Are they all here?
No. Well, I think famously people know that Jesse Tyler Ferguson is my best friend. And and he and Justin and I have a ton of gay boyfriends like here in the city that I hang out with. All the boys at Titanic are gay. Every stinking one of them. Oh my God, I just outed Andrew Keenan Boulder.
You know, I humiliated myself in front of Jesse.
When?
At a game night for Dan Levy's birthday last year. There was like, maybe 8 of us. And God, it was so humiliating. I misunderstood. We had played a game where, maybe it wasn't quite charades, but we had played a game where you say out loud what the thing was, and then someone else acts it out. Or basically there was a part of the game where you say out loud the clue. What?
Celebrity?
Maybe.
Is there 3 rounds and the same clues?
Yeah.
Yeah, celebrity.
And then so there's one where you're supposed to say it and one where you're not supposed to say it.
Yeah.
Well, I thought I was doing the say it round when I was actually supposed to be doing the quiet round.
Uh-huh.
And I got up in front of everybody and I so confidently just yelled out the thing, and everyone in silence is like, and I ruined the game, of course.
Yeah.
And everyone in silence, and then Dan just goes, "Honey, that's not this round." And my reaction was to sprint out of the room. I sprinted to the kitchen, and then of course everyone's laughing at me. And that was the first time I had hung out with Jesse. So Jesse, if you're watching, please don't think less of me. It was humiliating. It was humiliating.
Trust, I can tell you stories that would humiliate the fuck out of Jesse.
Oh, tell one. Oh, come on, tell one. What's it gonna hurt?
This is a Reader's Digest. I again used to live with Jesse when I had my place in England. Before I got my apartment here, I was in England a lot of the time. So whenever I had to come to New York to do a play, to do a reading, to shoot a television show, whatever it was, I stayed with Jesse. So it was Jesse, me, and Montego Glover, who's a pretty well-known Broadway actress. We all lived together, and that was a time. So I was coming to town because I was doing a reading of a new musical called Drowsy Chaperone, and Jesse met me for lunch. He was in Spelling Bee at the time. So was it Spelling Bee? Jesse was in? Yeah, he was in Spelling Bee. So he... Sorry. He meets me for lunch. We're sitting there, blah, 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 blah. And he's like, okay, I've got to go. And I was like, I got to go to rehearsal. And I stand up and immediately fall to the ground. I had wrenched my back.
Yeah.
Picking up my suitcase. What happened was I'm always very careful about that because my back isn't great. But it was one of those moments where somebody went, "Oh my God, you're Lea DeLaria." As I was picking up my suitcase, it distracted me, and I went, "Oh, that hurt."
Yeah.
But it was fine. I sat in the car, I went there, blah, blah, blah. Stood up from lunch, fell to my knees. Jesse had to take me to the emergency room because, I could not move.
Yeah.
He goes, "Okay, I don't have to be at the theater for a couple hours, so let's get you to the emergency room." He gets me to the emergency room, and they're like, "We need you to pee in a bottle." Pee in a cup. And I was like, I can't bend over. Jesse Tyler Ferguson.
No.
Bless his heart.
No.
My gay boyfriend held a fucking cup while I
pissed
peed
in it? No.
While I pissed in it. And Jesse was like, "If you piss on my hand."
Did you?
No, of course not. It was like, and it was like, and while it was happening, it was, "Jesse, please don't make me laugh. It hurts so bad to laugh." So we're laughing. So then we come back, and we're waiting. I'm like in this room waiting, and the doc comes in and goes, "I'm really sorry. You're going to have to do that again. Something happened, and I had to do it again." So poor Jesse
Twice.
had to do it twice.
No.
Wait. So he comes back. He comes back after doing Spelling Bee. At this point, I'd done all the things that I was supposed to do, and they told me that I strained my back and basically gave me Tylenol. They just gave me Tylenol.
Well, strained your back. It's like, no shit. That's why I'm here. I know I strained it.
my back.
Yeah, of course.
I'm like, I'm having muscle spasms. They said, "Just take this Tylenol, go to sleep, and you'll be fine." So I'm in. So I'm in Jesse's bedroom, in his bed. Jesse is on a futon. That, when I stay there, I would stay in his bed. He would stay on the futon, and I have to pee. By the way, I sleep naked. So,
You're in his bed naked?
This is important. I sleep naked.
matters.
I always sleep naked. Oh, I have to pee. I kind of pull it, and I can't get up. No, I can't get up. It's bad.
Stop.
So I went, "Jesse," and he goes, "What?" And I was like, "I really have to pee, and I, honest to God, cannot get up." And he goes, "Okay." So he comes over, and Jesse weighed 30 pounds soaking wet at that time when he was a zygote little guy.
Yeah, brick in each pocket.
He was really skinny little guy. Me never. So Jesse's trying to pull me up, and it's not working. And I'm naked, and I'm like screaming. And he goes, "What should I do?" And I said, "I think we have to call 911." So yes, we have to call 911. So he calls 911. And I'm laying there in bed, and he's like running around. He's like putting on clothes. He's fixing his hair. I'm like, "What are you fucking doing?" He goes, "Lea, firemen are coming." You know, I've never told this story before.
Really?
By the way, I have never told this story before.
I can just picture him so frantic.
I mean, just frantic. The fire. And so a truck pulls up. The sirens are going. The whole thing. Yes, 2 big firemen come in. And they're like,
Jesse's in a French maid costume.
Yeah, basically.
He's like, "She's in there, boys."
I mean, so funny. So they're like, firemen are able to get me up. But I really have to pee. So Jesse has to help me into the bathroom to help me pee because I can't get myself down. And then he has to dress me.
Yeah.
And then they put me on a gurney and they take me to the next hospital where once again I'm asked to pee in a cup.
Stop it.
So now this is the 4th time that Jesse has had to deal with urination for me.
Do they not have nurses in these fucking hospitals?
Well, that was what I'm like. I can't do this. Somebody has to do it. And they looked at him and said, "Can you do it?" It's like they didn't have a nurse.
Do we have a fucking LPN in this hospital? Good Lord.
Fucking crazy, right? So we go through the whole thing, and the doctor says, "You were horribly misdiagnosed. You have sprained your back. It is bad. Ooh. You'll have to sleep sitting up. These are the pills you're going to have to take." I had to leave. I couldn't do drowsy chaperone. I didn't even make it to the first fucking rehearsal. I had to I'm out of drowsy chaperone. I can't move. Jesse's now sleeping in his bed. I'm in the chair the futon that he was in because I have to sleep like sitting up and everything. Like all this is happening. And just before we leave the hospital, I say, "Why did I have to pee in a cup so many times?" And they said, "Because you were getting x-rays. We need to make sure that you weren't pregnant."
I could have solved that problem for you.
Well, what I said
Take
was,
a look at my haircut.
honey, if I'm pregnant, I'm changing my name to Mary and taking to riding donkeys, is what I said. Which Jesse almost peed his pants. He was so pissed about at first, and then when I said that, Jesse almost peed his pants. Meanwhile, this was the day he went in. That very fucking day, he was going in for the class. He was auditioning for the class that day. Mm. And like instead of getting his sleep or whatever, he stayed up with me all night. He went and he got dressed and did the audition and got the part, as we all know. Okay. But the best part is we get home. We're going, like Jesse's, we got the medication. He gets me in the chair. He puts up, then Montego wakes up with her little eye mask on. Walks in her little baby doll pajamas, which is another reason why I love staying at that apartment. Montego walks in with her little baby doll pajamas on, her little eye mask, and she's like this, "Oh, how are you guys? What? Did you sleep well?" And we're like, "Montego, there was a fucking ambulance out front. There were firemen in here. I was screaming like I was being murdered by an axe murderer, and you slept through." She goes, "There were not firemen in here." And she slept through the whole fucking thing.
That is nuts.
Right.
That is completely insane.
Crazy story.
And you know what? Jesse doesn't come out looking so bad and all that. He looks like a really good friend.
Oh, he's one of the best friends I've ever had in my life.
But knowing that he held your piss cup is a little embarrassing for sure.
Oh, absolutely. More than once.
Yeah, multiple of your piss cups.
And got me dressed.
Yeah.
And put me on his toilet. I mean, while he was fixing his hair because the firemen were coming.
I love that so much.
Oh, so funny.
That is
but
so
that
funny.
it was like when he went, "Lea, firemen are coming." I was like, "Please don't make me laugh." It hurts so bad. It hurts so bad.
Oh, that is so funny. Yeah, I can picture the two of you. What's up, everybody? It's me, Caleb, and we just want to shout out our advertiser, Hims. Thank you guys so much for advertising on the show. It means the world to us, and we are so brand loyal to you. If anything ever happens with my junk, and getting hard and whatnot, y'all know I'm coming to Hims. Folks, I'm going to be honest with you. If ED is getting you down, you need Hims to help get your confidence and other things back up. Hims provides access to treatments that can help you stay hard and last longer so you can be ready whenever the mood strikes. Hims is changing the healthcare industry by providing you with access to affordable sexual health treatments from the comfort of your couch. Don't bother with a pesky doctor. Hims provides access to a range of doctor-trusted ED treatments like chewable hard mints and Viagra and Cialis and their generics for up to 95% cheaper. The process is 100% online, so there's no need for uncomfortable doctor's visits. I hate going to the doctor and telling them about my junk, my thingaling. Just answer a series of questions on their site and a medical provider will determine the right treatment option. If prescribed, your medication ships directly to you for free. No insurance is needed and one low price covers everything from treatments to ongoing care with hundreds of thousands of trusted subscribers. Hims can help you find the ED option that works for you. Start your free online visit today at hims.com/so-true. That's HIMS.com/so-true for your personalized ED treatment options. hims.com/so-true. The featured products include compounded products which are not approved nor verified for safety, effectiveness, or quality by the FDA. Prescription required. See website for details, restrictions, and important safety information. Price varies based on product and subscription plan. Oh my God, I killed that. Okay, we are back and better than ever with our friends at Alma. Today's episode is brought to you by Alma, a regular advertiser here on our program. We love and respect y'all. Alma is on a mission to simplify access to high-quality, affordable mental health care. Alma has built a community of over 20,000 diverse therapists. Therapists on the platform offer both in-person and virtual care. While online tools and resources can be a useful starting point or supplement, human relationships are an irreplaceable part of mental health care. Alma can help you find someone who will work with you on your specific needs and goals and support you in making real progress in improving your mental health. Alma also makes things real simple to find a therapist. Some people turn to impersonal online resources like forums or chatbots because they think finding a therapist is expensive and difficult. The directory makes it easy to find therapists that take your insurance and meet your unique needs with filters like gender, race, therapeutic approach, and more. Know the cost of your sessions up front using Alma's cost estimator tool. At Alma, 97% of therapists accept insurance, including United, Aetna, Cigna, and more. Some of my favorite brands in the healthcare space, for real, y'all. Better with people, better with Alma. Visit helloalma.com/so-true to get started and schedule a free consultation today. That's helloalma.com/SOTRUE. Thank you, guys. Hey, life doesn't happen bi-weekly, so why should payday? The money you earn can be in your hands today with Earnin. Earnin is an app that gives you access to your pay as you work, up to $150 per day with a max of $750 between paydays. Just download the Earnin app, verify your paycheck, then access up to $150 a day as you work and leave an optional tip. Any money you access plus tips are automatically repaid from your next paycheck. Anytime I get a little extra money I wasn't expecting to have, I always try and treat myself with like a fun dinner with a friend or stopping by my favorite store and snatching up that new shirt I've had my eye on. Hey, Earnin can make moments like that possible for you, maybe. Make Earnin a part of your financial routine and join Earnin's over 4 million customers who say things like, when I think about Earnin, I think about financial stability, security. It gives me a lot of peace of mind. Download Earnin today, spelled EARNIN, in the Google Play, or Apple App Store. When you download the Earnin app, type in So True with Caleb Hearon under podcast. When you sign up, it'll really help our show. So True with Caleb Hearon under podcast. Earnin is a financial technology company, not a bank. Cash outs are based on your available earnings. Standard cash outs take 1 to 2 business days with no mandatory fees. Option to expedite your transfer for a fee. Tips are voluntary and don't affect the service. See the cash out user agreement for details and read that user agreement, I would say, everybody probably. Service is not available in all states, okay? Earnin. Thank you for advertising with us, Earnin. Y'all know how much I love a comfy couch or a comfy chair. Having the right furniture is a key ingredient to turning a house into a home. So I want to talk to you about my friends at Cozy, whose motto is everyday home furnishings made easy. Cozy is built for real life. Their pieces are modern, adaptable, and worry-free. And they're designed to make your day-to-day feel a little lighter, just like me, with functional innovation at every step. And if you're like me and can barely assemble a house of cards, let alone a coffee table, don't worry. Cozy provides easy assembly, easy mix and match, and versatile multifunctional style that adapts to you.
Cozy helps you open up new home possibilities. Furniture shopping should be an exciting experience. Cozy helps make the whole process from shopping to purchasing to setup an absolute breeze. Cozy is dedicated to the idea of easy everything and offers modular design options so your furniture can change with each season that life brings you. Mix and match different styles and colors, swap out the old and add in the new with stylish selections and design assistance to help you as you explore new options on your personal interior design journey. Transform your living space today with Cozy. Visit cozy.com. That's COZEY.com. The home of possibilities made easy.
It makes sense that you hang out with gay guys because you have one of my favorite jokes of all time. I don't know, a lot of lesbians listen to this show, and I don't know how many of them are familiar with this fact, but you have one of my favorite jokes of all time, which is, what does a lesbian bring to a second date? A U-Haul. And then the follow-up, what does a gay guy bring to a second date? What second date? Yeah. I mean, that is so fucking funny. And you originated the fucking U-Haul joke.
That is, I wrote the U-Haul joke, and we keep trying to get U-Haul to hire me to be the face of U-Haul.
Just this on the side of every U-Haul truck?
They will, just let me do a U-Haul commercial. Let's do it. I can do it on my Instagram. I've got well over 1 million followers. Let's do a U-Haul commercial. Yeah. Come on, U-Haul. Let's do it. Just for gay pride. Let's do it for gay pride.
Just pop up in the back. A bunch of lesbians run out. It'll be fun.
Oh my God. So funny. But that's a joke. It's like, fuck me. I wish when you wrote a joke, you got residuals. That's all I'm going to say.
Wish they sent you a check in the mail every once in a while.
Right?
Well, the Orange is the New Black residuals have to be pretty good. No? Are they not?
We went on strike over this, right?
They're not sending you good residuals for that show?
They never did.
Shut up.
Oh my God, this was so famously a part of the strike. I'm so surprised you don't know this, Caleb.
I know the residuals, but I just assumed a show as big as y'all's that y'all were getting something.
No. When Orange is the New Black started, we started filming in 2012. Nobody knew what this was going to be.
Yeah.
Nobody knew. We all knew it was the future.
Yeah.
But we didn't know how it was going to look.
Yeah.
So basically, Netflix used us and all the other streaming service, then handed it all over all the other streaming services as a template on how to fucking screw the actors.
Yeah.
So that the streaming service and the company that and the men who were the presidents and blah 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 got all the money from these shows. We got doodly squat. We were told that we weren't eligible for residuals, that they weren't necessary under a SAG contract.
Because the new media shit.
Because it was a new media. Yeah. So
I mean, I knew we were all getting fucked. I just thought that maybe y'all got in before that or something.
No,
you were the original getting fucked.
We were the original getting fucked.
Jeez.
We literally, that was because I assure you that Robin Wright and those guys were getting paid.
Yeah,
and they were getting their residuals, but we weren't. It was like a show that was women, and that's also part of it, and a lot of non-white women.
Yeah.
Also part of it. So they used that, and then they shared it, and that's why that's why we struck, and it was over the residuals of streaming services. That's one of the major reasons why we struck.
Yeah, and I knew that, but I guess I just thought. I mean, I thought maybe that was something that had changed because I think about
$24.27 was my last residual check from Orange.
Jesus Christ, that is nuts.
And it's still watched by over 200 million people in 190 countries.
Yeah, that's fucking nuts. And some people who are not actors or don't work in the business might not understand how crazy that is. But if that had been a network show in 2010 or 2009 or whatever, you'd be buying fucking multiple properties off just the residual checks.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
As Jesse can attest.
Yeah. No shit. Yeah.
Because his show was a network show and mine was, streaming.
Yeah.
And it's just that, we talk about it all the time. They really fucked us over. And, you have a thing is that if you're in this business, you get it. I just got a hit show.
Yeah.
I'm never going to have to worry about money again. I'm never have to worry about work again. I'm never going to have to. A lot of people who were on Orange now have day jobs.
Yeah.
Lots.
Yeah. I mean, this is why so many of us do this now. It's like I was in writers' rooms. Writers' rooms don't really pay anymore. This is the shit that pays now. It's like we have to go make our own thing.
Yeah, I always feel that the writers and the actors get screwed more than anybody else in our industry.
Yeah, it's horrible.
That's why when the writers went on strike, I I walked the picket line with the writers. We hadn't gone out on strike yet.
Yeah.
But I was very vocal about we need to join the writers in this strike.
Yeah.
And I was out there with the writers. I have tons of friends who are television writers, so out there walking with them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then are you spending more time? I mean, you're doing Titanic right now.
Yes.
Which is so fun.
And then I'm also working on my tour for the Outrage tour, I'm calling it. So Titanic's done, and we're starting to book that. So the rest of this year is going to be me doing that. And then I had a hysterectomy last summer, a full hysterectomy, and I'm kind of writing a show about it.
Yeah. Is that the Outrage tour, or is that something
No,
separate?
Outrage is about what the fuck is going on in our country right now, and that's going on. But while I'm doing the Outrage tour, I'm putting together this special that, in my mind, is going to be probably an off-Broadway musical.
Yeah.
Called Lea DeLaria is Hysterical.
Yeah. So Outrage, is it gonna be an hour of stand up? It's an hour?
Yeah, but I do music too.
Right.
So that when I do a show, it's always everything I do combined.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's music and it's comedy and it's fun.
Great.
Yeah,
I love that.
yeah.
So when is that going to start?
I think. Well, I actually did it in San Francisco in January. Like that was the first one, and then I went, okay, so I fix this, I fix this, I fix this. That's what I do. And then I did it in Florida. When was that? March. Sorry, I had COVID, just in case anybody wants to know. I had COVID really fucking badly, so I'm still dealing with COVID brain.
Yeah.
I've actually got long COVID now. I can't, believe it or not, I can't taste a goddamn thing.
No
which is
way.
if you're looking at me, it's going, Leah's lost a lot of weight. Leah has lost a lot of weight because I'm not eating. I have no appetite. I can't remember things.
Yeah.
So I'm being sent to a long COVID specialist. Luckily, it hasn't affected me in the show much.
Yeah.
And it hasn't affected me as a stand-up on stage at all.
Yeah.
But as a human talking to you, I can't put two fucking sentences together.
I can't remember. You're like, March?
Right.
Was it March?
When
Yeah.
was it? Yeah. And I did it there in March. And I'm booked in Provincetown in August. And that's like the first major booking. And then we're going to shoot from there and go to a bunch of other places.
Yeah. You brought up weight loss, and I wanted to ask you, and we can absolutely cut this if you don't want to talk about it.
I don't give a fuck.
I figured you didn't. But you were fat for a very long time in the industry, and it is a nightmare to be fat in the industry presently. But I'm wondering if you've seen
I'm still fat in the industry.
Well,
without a doubt.
Most thin people are fat in the industry. I mean, everyone's fat in the industry. No one's allowed to be really truly thin.
Yeah.
But have you seen any shift in that, or what was it like when you were starting out, or just like, what's that been like?
Well, there hasn't, I'm going to just say it, there's not a lot of shift. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I think exactly what we just said points to it, that I'm always going to be I'm a fat chick.
Yeah.
Even though I would say that I'm more chubby than fat now, but whatever, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
There doesn't seem to be any about it.
Yeah, there's
like
no
my
delineation.
fiance is stunning, and she went to L.A. I would have if we had known each other then. I would have said no, stay in New York, get some credits, then go to L.A. But she went to L.A. She's absolutely fucking stunning, and she had to meet with the agent, and the agent was like, "You need to lose 20 pounds." I think she weighed at that time 121 pounds.
Jesus.
And she's about a half an inch taller than me.
Yeah.
Why would she have to lose? She's womanly. She has. Yeah, Dahlia, I'm talking about you. She's she's got tits and ass. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because I love women, and I don't want. If she lost 20 pounds, I'd be with a fucking teenage boy.
Yeah.
I don't. What the fuck? Let's have the tits and ass, please.
Yeah.
And the industry I don't think has changed at all. There was a minute there where Lizzo kind of did some stuff. You know what I mean? But now, especially with the weight loss drugs and all that shit.
Yeah.
And FYI, I take Ozempic because I'm a diabetic.
Yeah.
You bitches that are taking it to lose weight are making it impossible for me to get Ozempic, without which I will die.
Yeah. Well, but if they don't lose 20 pounds for swimsuit season, they might die.
Exactly.
You have to be considerate of that.
You know what? If I don't get my Ozempic, I will fucking kill them before swimsuit season even fucking starts.
It's not it's not getting any better. It's that's what I suspected, but I was like, maybe I don't know something, but yeah, it's
No,
not a lot of fun.
no, it's not. It's when I started to lose weight when I was shooting Orange, and so this is the opposite. I started to lose weight because I was diagnosed as a diabetic, because the medication that they put me on did help you. It just was a side effect.
Yeah.
At the time, nobody knew it, because I was actually a part of the study that came up. I was one of the 1,000 people that was in the study that gave us Wegovy and Ozempic and those things, right? So I was taking Victoza at the time, which was another, that same thing. I changed my eating habits. My mother was a diabetic, and I didn't want, I was like, I'd like to stick around. Life is really good right now, so I'll change my eating habits. And then the last piece of the puzzle is the metformin that diabetics take, metformin, which has what I call the Willy Wonka effect, so named after the chocolate waterfall. So those medications and me changing, my eating habits, I was dropping weight really quickly. And for that season, they actually had to put me in kind of a fat suit for one particular episode. But they called me in, the producers, and they went, you're playing a character called Big Boo. I was like, well, there's nothing we could do about this, guys.
Yeah.
I'll just still be Big Boo. And that's why they added the first episode of the next season, where my character said that she got a parasite in the lake.
Yeah.
And that's how they explained that I had lost all that weight.
Yeah.
Because I got a parasite in the lake.
Also fun to imagine Hollywood producers asking you to stay fat. I'd love to have that happen someday.
They were like, is there any way we can slow it down? I was like, I don't know. I don't know what to tell you. They were very sympathetic about it, but it was like, it was becoming incredibly apparent on camera.
Yeah. What season was that?
Well, let's see. Season 2 was when we were in the lake. So,
yeah.
So season 2, season 3.
Yeah.
Season 3 is when it just kind of went, holy shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was one of my better ad-libs on the show, because Nick, who wrote the episode, I said something about the parasite, and had Yal, who was my roommate in Orange, and also my really good friend just as a human, said, I wish maybe I can get one of those. And I ad-libbed, why are you tired of sticking your toothbrush down your throat? And Nick came out and he goes, okay, we're going to shoot that again. Lea, say that every time. And that was just
I love that. We asked people on this show, I don't know if they told you, but we always ask people, what's so true to you?
That pineapple does not fucking belong on pizza.
You really are so strong on that?
I'm really fucking strong on that.
You're going to tell me you haven't had pineapple on a pizza and ever enjoyed it?
I'm going to tell you that if I saw a pineapple pizza, I would pick it up and throw it out a window before I'd let anyone eat it.
Lea.
I fucking... It's disgusting. Pineapple does not belong on fucking... Okay, pizza's Italian. Pineapple is Hawaiian. There aren't pineapples in Italy. It's franken-fucking food. There's franken-food. People that do this fucking like duck breast and pesto on pizza. Are you fucking kidding me?
You don't like a fusion?
No, it's franken-food. I think I'm making that clear.
You're being very clear.
I'm being very clear, and I love food. I fucking love food, but I am very strict about the way food works. I don't drink iced coffee. Coffee is meant to be drunk hot.
You have lost the goddamn plot, Lea. You've come into the wrong room.
I have not lost the goddamn plot.
You have come into the wrong room.
But you want to? I'll tell you what. You bring a pineapple with a pizza with pineapple on it, and you sit it right here and see what happens.
You don't drink an iced latte ever?
No, I don't drink a fucking iced latte.
Yeah.
I will have a Coke Zero.
Okay, you're real as fuck for that. But an iced latte, you're friends with so many gay guys, and you're telling me you're out here being anti-iced latte?
I also don't suck dick.
Come on.
I'm friends with so many gay guys that I suck dick. What?
Come on.
Don't be fucking ridiculous.
An iced latte is a delicious treat on a hot day. You're mad at me. Come on.
Computer says no.
We finally got Lea to go on the record that you don't suck dick. People were wondering.
I know that was a hardcore wonder there for
that
people.
Was a big question mark for people.
Yeah.
Wow, that's so funny.
About Lea's bisexuality.
The bisexuality allegations. You've been up against them for years, and today on So True, we're beating them right now. Wait, what was I going to ask you? Oh, we have a segment for you.
Okay.
We do this game. It's a true false game.
Okay.
I'm going to read you 15 statements.
Okay.
You're going to tell me as quickly as you can if you think what I said is true or false.
Okay.
If you get 10 or more correct, we're going to give you $50 US. This is the game. $50. That's a big cab ride maybe to nowhere.
I feel like that these are impossible questions, but go ahead.
No. We'll see. Okay. I'm looking at the wrong page. I was like, that's just a fact about Lea. Okay.
Okay.
Here we go. Pink Floyd only won 1 Grammy Award.
True.
That is true. Sharks do not have bones.
That is true.
That is true. You're killing it. Tums were invented in 1989.
What? Tom's the shoe?
Tums.
Tums.
Tummy medicine, yeah.
True.
False. 1930.
Oh.
Whitney Houston was an avid Dungeons and Dragons player.
That's false.
That is false.
That is the stupidest question I've ever been asked.
The letter Z does not appear in any U.S. state name.
True.
False. Arizona.
Arizona! I forgot Arizona?
People do. And for good reason.
Yeah, I can believe it.
An ostrich's eye is bigger than its brain.
False.
It's true.
Damn it! I went back and forth so long.
Belleville, Illinois' sister city is in France.
True.
False. It's
What?
Paderborn, Germany.
Well, oh, that's right. German settlers. I forgot. Yeah.
It would take 19 minutes to fall to the center of the earth.
What?
Apparently, this is calculable. It would take 19 minutes to fall from where we are now to the center of the earth.
False.
It's true.
That's so crazy.
That doesn't feel right to me.
That doesn't feel
but
right
I believe
to me
it.
at all.
Sunday in the Park.
I was doing so good.
You were doing, and honestly, this one feels. Sunday in the Park with George's original Broadway run was 604 performances.
True.
That is true. The letter A is the most popular letter in the English language.
False.
False. It's E.
E. I know.
Let's go. Okay. Vietnam is the world's second biggest coffee producer.
I don't know why you would ask if it wasn't true. So true.
True. 40% of the population is left-handed.
Yeah, it's the same. False.
False. It's 10%.
10%, same as us. I was like, wait, it's the same as queer people, and we're 10. So
The origins of the word jazz are unknown.
that's false.
That's true.
Ooh.
Netflix still offers their DVD delivery service.
Why? False.
False. They stopped in 2023.
Yeah.
San Francisco's official motto is Golden Peace, Iron in War.
San Francisco's motto?
San Francisco's official motto, Golden Peace,
Isn't
Iron
it
in War.
City of Brotherly Love? Sorry. Gold. Say it again.
Gold in peace, iron in war.
I'm going to say true.
It is true. How'd she do?
9.
Oh, shit. You were so close. I'm still hung up on your coffee take. That really hit home with me. That was personal for me.
Fuck, I'm hung up that I didn't get 10.
I know, you were so
mad.
close. You were so close. And it's really not the
It
Belleville
was that
one.
goddamn salt, the fall to the center of the earth is what.
Well, also the
And also
Belleville one,
Belleville.
France and Germany, that's pretty close. I think we ought to count it. I think we ought to give it 10. Fall this into the earth. Now, how do we know that? No one's done that.
You can calculate just like the amount. We know the distance from the crust to the core.
Yeah.
And like the weight of of a human and
But what about the magnetic core? Wouldn't that make a difference? I mean, we're not just calculating that has to be part of the equation, don't you think?
Yeah, I'm thinking I'm kind of dumb because I was thinking 19 minutes is too short, but I'm like 19 minutes is a long time to fall.
It's a long time. I mean, I was actually thinking it might be shorter. That's
Really?
why I said false.
Yeah, I was thinking it was too short.
And I was also going the magnetic core.
Yeah.
It has to do something. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? So there you go.
Damn, but almost 10. Almost 10. Okay, I wanted to ask you. You have had you've been in so many fucking cool productions and shows. Is there a moment in your career that you look at and go, "Oh, that was like a real pinch me like holy shit moment."
Wow. I've had
You've had a lot, I feel
I've
like.
had a lot of those pinch me holy shit moment. I think the real pinch me holy shit moment was when I met Meryl Streep. I think that was probably the big one.
Where'd you meet Meryl Streep?
I was doing As You Like It, and Gwyneth Paltrow was the lead, and she had just won the Academy Award. So it was a big production in, fuck me, where's the theater festival? Is it Williamsburg?
Williamstown?
Williamstown, yeah. And they always have a big festival there every summer. And so this was a production that they were thinking would come to New York, and there was a lot of great people in it. And Mark Lynn Baker was my touchstone, and I was Audra the shepherd. It was great. And every day they would be, this is who's coming. Because, it was because she just won the Academy Award. It's like Steven Spielberg, blah, 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 blah. One day the stage manager, okay. And I said, who's coming today? All the living presidents? I mean, it was just like, it was insane. But it was Meryl Streep, and that was just amazing. And with Blythe Danner, and they just kind of got Blythe there to see her daughter, of course. Meryl came to see the whole thing. And she introduced, so I got introduced through Blythe to Meryl, and I started to kind of shake her hand, and I was, it's such a pleasure. I'm such a huge fan. And then I just became me, and I got down on my hands and knees, and I was like, oh my God, I'm so unworthy, blah, 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 blah. And then I just kind of switched and went, as long as I'm on my knees, Meryl, is there anything I can do for you?
You threatening to eat Meryl out backstage at the theater festival?
She laughed.
Yeah.
And then she looked at me and she went, that's why I like you, Lea. You always make the small choices.
It's subtle and understated.
Right?
Yeah.
And then I saw her again. And then we became on a first name basis through that. And then we did this event together for the Public Theater. And it was me, Meryl Streep, and Natalie Portman, who I've had a crush on for a minute. I love this Natalie Portman. So they're both standing there, and I brought the fucking house down. I did what I did, and I kind of stopped the show, and I came off stage, and I said something to them, and they both, Meryl kissed me. Natalie took me by the hand and was kissing me on the hand, and Meryl was kissing me on the cheek, and I did not wash my cheek or my hand for a year. I can tell you, it was amazing. And then the next time I saw Meryl was Jill Clayburgh was doing a Broadway show. We went to Bar Central. I went to Bar Central. I was doing a different Shakespeare play, right? So I was doing Midsummer Night's Dream. And afterwards I went to Bar Central, and Meryl and Jill Clayburgh were there. I was shitting myself because I already met Meryl, and I knew that I could get an intro to Jill Clayburgh because she was sitting right there. I walk up to them. They were so drunk. And I met Jill, which was my thing. And then they were like, we're going to go now, Lea. And I went, I'm going to walk you out to the cab. And Meryl said, are we that drunk? And I went, yes. So they both started laughing. So I put them in a cab. I gave the cab driver $20. And I said, this is royalty. You take good care of these women.
Yeah.
Right? And then we saw each other at the Emmys and the SAG Awards. And when all that happened for Orange, it was just, hey, Meryl, hey, Lea, how's it going? Blah, blah. It's insane.
That's so cool.
But when I first met her, it was like, I'm going to shit myself.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Two legends, you and Meryl, hanging out. I'm serious. People feel that way about meeting you too. That's crazy.
Oh, it's nuts.
That's nuts. What is there a role or a thing you haven't gotten to do yet that you are dying to do?
I'm dying for somebody to write me an original musical.
Yeah.
For me, something for me.
Yeah.
Just original that doesn't exist right now. That I'm dying for. And I have played every type of thing. I just played a fucking elf on Nora from Queens. You know what I mean? I've done all of that shit. I have never played a gay man. I played tons of straight men. I have never, and tons of straight women, tons of lesbians, fantastic creatures, stuff like that. I have never been cast as a gay man. I would love at some point for somebody to cast me as a gay man.
Okay, interesting.
Yeah.
I would like that.
Oh, I don't mind, again, I played so many men. I don't mind playing men. It's fun.
Yeah.
To create a character, but to play a gay man, so much fun.
Yeah, I think your take on a gay man would be. I actually need to see that. I need someone to step up. Maybe the musical. Maybe someone needs to write you an original musical where you play a gay
Where
man.
I literally play a gay man.
Yeah,
that would
that'd
be
be
fun.
good. That'd be good. That's Tony bait.
Take that, Cola Scola.
Sorry, Cole, you're over, honey. It's Leah's turn. I would love that. I would love that so much. So, original musical for you, and you'd like to play a gay man.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's it.
Hollywood needs to get to work.
Let's go, kids. Let's
We're
go.
gonna make it happen. Is there anything you want to? Obviously, Titanic.
Oh,
your
and
upcoming tour.
I'm sorry, and a Hallmark Christmas movie.
Yeah. What do you want to play? play the evil businessman who comes and shuts down the Christmas fair or whatever. Is there anything you want to plug? Tell the people about. Tell them where to find you.
Titanic, but I'm only in that until the 25th of May, so I don't know when this is going to air.
Okay.
I do the second Sunday of every month at 54 Below. Brunch is Gay, which is the whole concept is I do a different show every month. I have a different guest every month, and there's a different theme. So we're always, especially the guests, we're doing things we don't normally do. So there's lyric sheets in front of us, and mistakes are made, and lots of jokes flying, and people it's so loose and it's so much fun. So Brunch is Gay. I'm doing, let's see, the Carlisle, I forgot about that. That's part of the outrage. The Carlisle, the Friday of Gay Pride weekend. They are doing that whole Gay Pride week, they're doing a bunch of different, queer performers, and I'm one of them.
Nice.
And let's see. Movies. God, I've made a bunch of movies. So Wholly Irresistible is currently on, not Hulu, on Amazon. And shit. Outerland, filmed in San Francisco, just hit the festival circuit, getting much, much heat. So look for Outerland. It's a really interesting story. And my friend Asia Dillon is lead, and Asia's doing some of the best work they've ever done in this particular movie. Really good. I mean, there's a lot to plug. I just can't keep it all straight.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But follow Leah on Instagram. That'll help.
That will help.
And go keep up with everything. And
come to the brunch shows. Just come. They're so much fun.
And then go to the Outrage tour.
Yeah.
Hell yeah. Rock on. Well, thank you for
Where
doing
you
it.
get to sing Donald Trump is a bitch with me.
Of course. And we've always wanted to do that.
Oh.
Easy. That's
so
one of my
cathartic.
dreams. Yeah.
It's so cathartic.
Yeah.
And the audience really loves it. Bitch, 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 bitch. He's a fucking bitch. Yeah.
Yeah. Thanks for doing it, Leah.
Oh.
Thanks for being on.
Hey, my pleasure, Caleb. Have me back.
That was a Headgum podcast.